What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Been super busy lately, so I haven't been able to post. I want to do more live streams and stuff like that. So a lot of Leafs pregame and postgame live stuff is going to be coming. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And as you can see, this is a bit of a rumor video, and you guys know that is what I do best here. So if you love news and rumors about the Toronto Maple Leafs, make sure to like this video and subscribe. A podcast or like a weekly live thing that I'm doing maybe a couple times is also coming. So a lot more content on the way. But there's been a few rumors that has been going around regarding the Toronto Maple Leafs possibly looking to add a defenseman, maybe having a couple guys on the right side available. So we might as well get right into this. But like I said, if you are new, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. But let's move on here. So the NHL Watcher, he's always posting this stuff here. He's always getting all the details and tweeting it out. Friedman was talking Leafs, I believe, is a radio hit. He said, I think they've kind of let it be known that one of their D who plays on the right side could be available. I would suspect that's potentially Dermott, but I don't know if they've actually identified the player. Then there's a follow-up tweet down here that says Friedman mentioned he doesn't think it's Hall, even though he's struggling. So far, depending on when you're watching this video, because I know some people watch the rumor videos way down the line, I get comments of people watching a rumor video almost 2 years later, which I think is crazy. And then they go, see, that didn't happen. 2 years later. That's kind of funny. But as we know right now, Justin Hall has been out of the lineup. He's been struggling a little bit. The Leafs have been giving Timothy Liljegren a look. And I've been saying for a long time that I really like Timothy Liljegren. I think that he's a guy that's definitely going to be able to step into the Leafs top four. Eventually he's been doing it temporarily on a short-term basis and playing in the top six and being able to hold his own. He's played 30 minutes a night sometimes with the Marlies on penalty kill, power play, whatever it is. He's not afraid to shoot. So, and this is all coming while Justin Hall is struggling. So this is what happens sometimes when, somebody loses their spot for a couple games, somebody can step up. And obviously the Leafs are very happy with the way he's playing, and they feel like they can use a Dermott or a Hall to potentially upgrade the top four or get another depth piece, which, again, I don't think that it's, a guarantee that it's Hall. I don't buy that Hall isn't the guy. Like, I would suspect the Leafs are shopping both of them, but you're probably getting more for Justin Hall than you are for Travis Dermott right now, because Hall is a right-handed shot defenseman on a pretty decent contract. I mean, Dermott's a left-handed shot on a decent contract. He's been playing well, but and there was also a follow-up report that Nick Kypreos also said that he believes that both of them are being shopped, and it's kind of like one or the other at this point. But we have to take all things into consideration here. Justin Hall can have a few bad games and then get his game back going, and then he looks great. But if the Leafs really like the way that Timothy Liljegren has been playing, and I quite agree that they should give him a shot finally, like to let him play consistently, I mean, you have to find a way to get him into the lineup. You can't keep putting Liljegren in the AHL with the Marlies because he's dominating there. He's doing everything already there. It's just reps for him. It's easy. He's just repeating the same thing over and over again. He's come up. He's looked really good. Him and Sandin look good together. They've played together a bunch. One thing I do want to bring up is time on ice. So a lot of people, when they watch games, they talk about, people being sheltered with defensive zone starts or offensive zone starts or, just kind of mix match, neutral zone, whatever. You're going to see guys obviously here like Riley playing a ton, Jake Muzzin playing a ton, Justin Hall playing similar minutes to Jake Muzzin because they were paired together on a more shutdown type of pairing. Same thing with TJ Brody. He's in that discussion as well. If you go down here to Travis Dermott, he hasn't logged or averaged a ton of ice time at the start of the season. Now, mind you, that's 9 games into the season, but these guys have also played very similar 10 games, and of course Hall, he's only played 7, but still averaging a good amount of time. But you can see that while Dermott has played more recently, that he's still not trusted to fully take, a 20-plus minute night, whereas even a guy like Sandin, who's played in all 10 games as well, is averaging more ice time. And then, of course, we can't really average out the ice time right now of Liljegren. He's only played 4 games, 16 minutes, but still, over time we'll see if that gets higher and higher. But the Leafs really trust him more in an offensive role, and we've seen that for a few years now, where they don't really want this guy playing consistently, in the defensive zone or killing penalties. They want him playing as a guy that can move the puck and get down the ice, which is fantastic. But I think, especially because his contract is pretty cheap, we'll go take a look at that right now. $1.5 million for this season and the next. Having that as a cheap deal where you could probably move to a team that's looking for a defenseman to play in their top 4 as an offensive role, or maybe even just to play to bolster their bottom pairing, some team might find more value in that than Toronto has, because they've been struggling on the defensive end. They might be looking to get a more physical, maybe a Bogosian type guy. It's too bad he wouldn't have just re-signed, but they might be looking to replace that, or maybe get a guy for their bottom 6. I'm not too sure. It could be just a 7th defenseman and hope that Liljegren can stick around and keep playing the way he's playing. I'm not really sure which guy I buy as the guy that could be available. So I also want to take a look at Justin Holl here, because $2 million, again, for a right-handed shot defenseman. He's 29 years old. People seem to think he's really young. 29 is still pretty young, but Dermott's, I think he's 24? Yeah, he's 24. Sorry, guys, I have a bit of a cough. I've been trying to get over something here, but don't worry, it's not what you think it is. I've just got a bit of a cough, but he's got the contract this year and next year as well at $2 million. He's got the modified no trade clause, which is ridiculous. I mean, no offense, but I don't understand why he was given that. But $2 million at 29 years old. Then you've got Dermott, 24, $1.5 million. Both of these guys would probably be guys that could be traded. You look at this top 6 here. Hall is the odd man out right now. These pairings aren't the way that it is. I just was messing around with this. But if you look at that top 6 right there, the way they're playing right now, it's fine. But do you feel more comfortable if you have something that's closer to this? You trade Dermott for maybe a rough and tough 7th guy. They also just called up Rubens, I believe, for their blue line. He's a guy that they really like, Christians Rubens. That he's another guy that they really like, but I'm not too sure what the Leafs are going to do here. This was a really puzzling rumor for me to look at, because not only that, but they're not really favorable in the cap space department here. So they could just trade one of these guys, Hall or Dermott, and just call up a guy who's going to be cheaper, like a Rubens, to play as the 7th guy, or call up anybody else. Maybe they get a look for somebody like Mac Hollowell eventually, or they bring up Duzak. They're not going to bring up Duzak. All I'm just saying is what I'm trying to say. A guy that's under $1 million, a guy that maybe plays a little bit more of the defensive end, a little bit physical. It's just something that when I read this report, I've been kind of pondering and wanting to make a video on it, just to kind of get your guys' thoughts as well, because there hasn't been a ton of rumors because the season just started, but because of Hall's play, because of how Liljegren's been playing, because of the uncertainty of if the Leafs are going to be able to keep a guy like Dermott and just play him all over the top 6, they got to find a home for him. The guy has not consistently gotten a spot. It looked like he was going to be a top 4 guy a couple years ago, but he hasn't been able to really lock into that position. So let me know what you guys think. If you are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd also like to point out one thing. I haven't made a full video on it, and I really feel like I probably eventually will. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been very vocal about this and talking about it. The Chicago Blackhawks situation, the Kyle Beach situation. I just want to personally say that myself, that I fully am supporting Kyle Beach, and I feel absolutely awful for the things that he's experienced at the hands of a absolutely disgusting organization at that period of time. And even now with some of the things that they're doing and dealing with one of the worst player associations in sports. You know, I'm supposed to wake up every day and be excited and love the game that I'm watching on a consistent basis. But when I see a human being go through something that he did, and just the absolute trauma that it's created for more than one person, John Doe too as well, and who knows who else. It's like, how can you wake up and look at this game and be like, yeah, everything's great? Because everything's not great. The situation that the NHL has created with this, and the arrogance of the NHLPA and Gary Bettman, something needs to give here. This needs to be figured out properly, so that way situations like this never happen again, because it will if something's not properly done here. So I do want to maybe make another video in detail, because I've been so frustrated about what's been going on. But Kyle Beach 100% has my full support, and I think that a lot of people would agree with me. I'm hoping everybody does, because the Chicago Blackhawks, the NHLPA, the NHL in itself has just been brutal for a long time, apparently. And the truth is finally coming out for a lot of these things. And I can't sit here and say that this game is 100% good, because it's not. And it's clear as day that situations like this need to be resolved, and people need to be held accountable. Not just scratching a name out of the Stanley Cup. People need to be held accountable. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.